symptoms, was kept in hospital, and his fiancée is on Sky News this morning. I'm laughing at Sky leading with the story that she's telling us all to stay indoors because it is ridiculous. But at the same time, I'm wondering, surely I don't know. It's a question worth asking anyway.
And then he said, thank you for the best life.
Ricky wrote, it's a 50-50 chance. Those aren't great odds. Signing off, once I'm asleep, it's in God's hands. A nurse then held up a phone so that Ricky could video call Katie. It was the last time she saw him alive. The next day while driving, she received a call from the consultant at the hospital.
It's hard. The call was less than 2 minutes long. It was a matter of, I'm really sorry to ring you. As we were turning Richard back onto his stomach, he suffered a cardiac arrest.
Sorry to ring you. As we were turning your fiancé back onto his stomach, he suffered a cardiac arrest.
And we wasn't able to resuscitate him. So, I'm sorry, but he's passed away. And I'm driving, I'm on my own, I'm upset, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay, thanks for ringing, because I didn't know how to react. I think I'm still waiting for him to come home. That's the hardest part.
You like that?
At 29, Ricky is one of the youngest victims of this crisis. His family say that it is too early and too risky to begin to think about lifting the lockdown.
All me and his family want to do is stress the people. Stay home. Boris has been telling you on the TV for weeks.
Well, if Boris has been telling us,
For weeks. Celebrities are telling you, the news are telling you.
Celebrities and the news are telling us.
They're telling you. It's everywhere. But people are getting complacent now because it's been so long. I'm seeing reports, we want to loosen the lockdown, and Boris is saying, no, it's not a good idea. And I agree with him. If they just followed what they're asking them to do, I don't think we'd be in this situation.
That's what the media does, is use people like that. They've used that woman. I think she's been on BBC Radio 5 Breakfast this morning as well. And they take advantage of people like that. The ventilator thing interests me. And I don't think we'll come back to it today, but I definitely know we will come back to it tomorrow. Andy Kaufman, the doctor, is on the radio show with me tomorrow evening. We'll get to that then. In the meantime, there was a sad ending to that report, and it kind of evoked John Waters, the Irish journalist, who was back in court today in Dublin with Gemma O'Doherty, as far as I understand. This report with this woman whose boyfriend, whose fiancé died, it ended with this.
Like so many others, Richard couldn't have his family beside him in the end.
Why?
A cruel hallmark of this disease.
But that's outrageous.
Nick Martin, Sky News.
It's outrageous to me. It's outrageous to me that family can't be facilitated when somebody's in a very bad way and they might be coming near the end. Although in this case, they said that they were turning the guy on his stomach and then he had a cardiac arrest, and I don't know. It smells a bit to me. But anyway, what do I know? Good afternoon, good evening, welcome to the Richie Allen Radio Show. 23 minutes, it is past 5 o'clock. It is madness what's going on. What have we got for you? The Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon wants face masks now to be used by people going out in public in Scotland. You can hear a little bit of what she had to say during her briefing, her daily briefing today. Nicola Sturgeon.
The guidance also makes clear that the evidence on the use of face coverings is still limited. However, it recognises that there may be some benefit in wearing a face covering if you leave the house and enter an enclosed space where you will come into contact with multiple people and safe social distancing is difficult. For example, on public transport or in shops. Of course, just now most shops are closed, so right now this would apply in particular to food shops.
Nicola Sturgeon. And finally, for now, I want to thank Spiro from Activist Post for sending me this. You'll have heard the name Deborah Birx. She's the White House COVID response coordinator, coronavirus response coordinator. She's been on CNN overnight, and she's been updating, presumably, CNN on the US government's response to the crisis. And in her conversation with CNN, she drops the mother of all Freudian slips, it is fair to say, Deborah Birx.
Do we have enough infrastructure to contact trace the way that we need to?
I think that's why the criteria that you can see the gates that that the federal government has recommended are.
Do we have enough infrastructure to contact trace the way that we need to?
She mentions Bill Gates.
I think that's why the criteria that you can see the gates that are.
That Gates set. The criteria that Gates set are.
That the federal government.
Or the federal government. Which is it, love? Is it Bill Gates of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, or is it your own government? The CNN presenter jumped in to say, what was that about Gates? Of course he didn't say anything.
Do we have enough infrastructure to contact trace the way that we need to?
I think that's why the criteria that you can see the gates that are that the federal government has recommended are.
Yeah, straight from the horse's mouth.